Hey, what's going on?
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
You can
come on.
tell, you can tell by the way that I look that I definitely just ran in from training.
Hey, no worries, and I can't wait to unpack that fight. Born in Brooklyn, Heather the Heat Hardy has joined us. Her pro debut in 2012 has had the boxing world talking ever since. Heather, how you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on today. And Heather, you got a big fight coming up. Let's hear about your opponent coming up February 23rd.
I'm fighting a girl, and it's gonna be really great. I forgot her name. I'm sorry. I don't think about it.
It's all good. That's why I'm here. You're fighting at Sony Hall in New York, right? And it's a
Yeah,
beautiful arena, by the way.
yeah.
And what a gorgeous place. You ever fought there before?
I had my last fight there, and it was so great because it's so intimate. I get to see and hear all my fans, and I tell all my fans like you could feel my sweat flying off no matter where you're sitting in that room. So it's pretty sweet.
Oh, you're familiar with that, with the BB King shows from back
Yeah.
in the day, Roseland. You fought at some awesome places, all the way to the Barclay Center.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So you come a long way since 2012, since that pro debut. You fought Amanda Serrano, one of the greatest fighters on the planet, whether you're a male or female, correct?
Yeah,
One of
for
the
sure.
best out there, and you guys had one hell of a war. Shelly Vincent a couple times, you know, you're keeping active, and you got this great assignment coming up. You got your opponent coming in. She's 5-1. She's from Brazil. Looks like she could fight a little bit. You excited to get back in the ring?
I really am. Like no disrespect. I never pay really much attention to my opponents, and I never did. And I leave that to my team, and I let them kind of just like a video game. Tell me what to do, train me how they want to train me, and I go in there and I fight. Mess with my head if I think too much on these girls.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you said you just came from training. What were you working on today?
Oh, I had sparring this morning. Um, I do like a 4 mile run every day. And then I just came back from my other gym where I did a little bit of conditioning and sat in the steam room. And I'm there just like cooling off, thinking my day's over. I'm like, oh, should I have this interview? And like, I was in panic and rushed out of there.
Hey, it's all good. I'm in between gigs too, but I appreciate you showing up as always. You're out there on the East Coast. You're running indoors or outdoors in 4 miles.
Outdoors, man. It's not like, that cold air, cold wind get in your lungs. It rips it open, gets you ready for conditioning. I run by the water too.
So you're feeling good.
I feel great. I'm in great shape. I'm in great shape.
You look great. You sound great. You look very healthy and all that. So you're getting those 4 miles in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Running is not the most interesting thing on planet Earth. You know, for some people, it's very aesthetically pleasing. Some people, it's kind of just like, I got to get it done to get it done. What kind of person are you in terms of that? And how do you pacify the time when you're running that long? 'Cause that's a long hike.
Yeah, it's about I run pretty easy. My coach always told me when you run, the run after boxing is to watch the birds. Most people don't realize that most fighters, most boxers are semi-professional runners because road work is such a big part of our training. Like it's the cool down or the warm up. It's to get your mental strength and also for your cardio, for your weight, to maintain and manage weight. So every single day my 4 miles is like clocking into work. I get in the gym, I punch my time card, and that's just part of what has to get done.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? They say you never work a day in your life if you love what you do. And obviously, for you to be around as long as you have and look as great as you do in this game, in this hurt business that we know that is boxing, what do you suggest for people to have that commitment, that passion? Because you are definitely an ambassador for the sport in terms of just always going.
I know what it takes to whether you're going to be a champion in boxing or a champion in anything. It's going to be really hard. To be successful, you have to accept that it's going to be really hard. And you have to get through the hardest, worst, dirtiest, grittiest, easiest to make excuses days to get to the other side, because it's the only way that you prove that you earn it, right? Like God gives his biggest rewards to his strongest soldiers, and you really got to fight through the thick of it to get to the other side, no matter what you're doing. No excuses, no nothing. That the only thing that's important to you is getting to the other side of the bridge.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I love talking to great people like you, very, forward, progressive thinkers. I mean, you have to be considering, your roots for our listeners. You went to college for forensic science, right? And you
Yeah.
graduated in that. You got into boxing, got into the hurt business, got to mixed martial arts. So you're in the courtrooms, you're kicking ass in there, right? Or you're doing your thing with the books, you're kicking ass in the books, and then you're in the court of life boxing,
Yeah.
and you're the judge now and the jury. Like,
That's right.
so what was that? What was that experience like from going from being a student? Because most people don't see a student being a boxer.
Well, boxing is a business and a sport. People are often surprised when they find out that I'm a fighter. And then again, surprised when they know I'm a fighter that I'm actually smart. But boxing is a business. And anytime you get into something where money is exchanged, it takes the sport out of it. And had I not had that experience in boxing, not just with psychology and understanding how people work, but realizing the business side of it and how money changes hands and what do I need to do to get to the top, not just fight and win, but be smart. I attribute a lot of that to my college education and to just being in those rooms with people who are smarter than me. You shouldn't be the smartest person in every room you're in. So I always tell my kids, my students, stay in school. It doesn't matter if it's not what you want to do. You'll figure it out. It's going to make you better at whatever you wind up in.
Absolutely. As a musician and someone that is also a fighter myself, my best days are behind me. And I'm 44 now. I did the amateur thing for a while, but I still, like to keep in shape and train. A huge fan, obviously. But I like to be around people and learn things from people, whether it was training in martial arts and boxing, or in music, or just in life in general. I don't want to know everything, and because I'd be bored out of my mind. I mean, I have a very short attention span as it is. I mean, unless it comes to boxing. My lady, I'm earning points over here for my lady. I love you, to my beautiful wife Stephanie. Yes, I am cheesing, but that's what's up. It's like you got to go after things that you love, and you can't be envious of those that have the natural gifts. You got to try to work for those gifts, and sometimes those people that got to work, they end up being the leader in the race. And
Right,
that
hard
motivates.
work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So
That's right. So we're talking about East Coast running out there. I know you're into food. I know you cook, right? Let's talk
yeah,
about that, and let's talk about the East Coast food in general. You're from Brooklyn. Oh my God, the pizza.
the pizza, the bagels, come on,
Oh, the bagels. Don't get me started on the bagels. Oh,
the
now I
bacon,
live
egg,
in
and
Vegas
cheese.
now. I'm
We got
originally from Jersey.
everything.
Yeah, I am. I'm in Vegas now. I'm originally from Jersey, and I miss the food on the East Coast, man. So
Yeah.
where do you get your pizza over there?
So I used to go to this spot on Myrtle Avenue called the Chiros, and they're not there no more. And it's been hard to find like my favorite pizza. But on 37th and 10th, there's this place called Vito's. They got the best squares, hands down, dead ass. Can't beat them.
Nice, nice. And in terms of everything, it's very eclectic over there. You got Italian, you got every style, you got Jamaican food, you got everything. It's just a melting pot of just beautiful culture. What's your favorite cuisine? What type of food do you like to cook?
I love so like my best friend is Syrian, and so she introduced me to all sorts of Middle Eastern stuff. So she will take me out to Bay Ridge to these little hole in the wall spots, and like after my fights when I can pig out. But I mostly, cook Italian food, pasta. Like the family will all come over. My boys will come over. They know that I'm a fried chicken cutlet and make penne vodka or lasagna or something, or like a big seafood stew, and everybody always eats over here.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm always eating too, always cooking something, always in the kitchen, and especially I love to cook. And the thing is, when you're cooking, you're eating, you're eating, you're eating, so it's really like you're getting a bunch of portions in one.
I know.
Some people like saying like, yeah, I eat while you're not eating much. I eat while I cook. I eat all the time. You got food in front of me, I'm gonna eat. I'm Italian
I
food.
know. It's the hardest thing because in fighting, I got to stay skinny. And I always tell everybody, like, people say, oh, cook home more. I'm like, I'm a good cook. I can't cook home. I need to go out and have a salad. I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's right. Because we know how to cook, and people come over the house. They're like, "Man, what is this?" Because I watch
Yeah.
all those shows on like YouTube. How to do this, and I watch all those restaurant shows like Restaurant Impossible and Bar Rescue. So I'm a foodie, I like that kind of stuff. Outside of that, what are you into? You watching any movies? You watching, listening to any good music?
No, like yeah, I'm in fight camp. So it's like, random songs pop in my head. They go onto a playlist. I'm like hitting some R&B right now, which is strange that I should be grinding out to something, but I'm like, TV, I got The Sopranos on repeat because nothing good's coming out. 2 weeks, Wu-Tang's coming. Hell yeah. I didn't even see it.
That wasn't even planned, I swear.
I know.
Salud, Shendan.
So I've been watching Sopranos on repeat, and the new Wu-Tang series comes out in 2 weeks, so yeah. I'm gonna hit that when it drops. But nothing. I'm just training for the fight, so it's like running around a lot, keep working, and getting home and getting in bed at 8 o'clock. Shut the phone off so I can get my rest to get back in the gym at 6 a.m.
I had Steve Sharippa on the show, Bobby Bacala on the show. Great guy. I got another cast member coming on who played Gigi on the show. Great people that come from that show. What season are you on right now in your rewatch?
I want to say I'm on season 3, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So you're with Ralphie now. You got Ralphie in there.
yeah. I went right from season 1. Like if nothing's on TV, I'll be like, what am I gonna watch? I just watch
I do the same thing. I swear, I got Sopranos on at the house all the time, and my stepdaughter, who's 14, I catch her around the house. She's like, "Oh, from Maron," because she likes things. I found. I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
you piece of deal." I'm like, "Hey, what is this? What are you doing?" But great show. James Gandolfini. I mean, everything about that show is so real.
I know, and it was from like me growing up as like 20s, teenager 20s. So it like brings me back.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I don't want to hold you up. I want you to get your rest. We got a fight coming up in New York on the 23rd at the beautiful Sony Hall. And who's promoting this bad boy?
This is promoted by Boxing Insider and DeBella Entertainment. Lou DeBella is my promoter, and he's been working recently with Larry and Boxing Insider to be putting on more great local New York City shows again. And it's so great to be back in Times Square and to know that my promoter is able to, work with somebody who can have me in front of my fans for these small local shows. So exciting. It's great.
It's a great time for you, Heather. Every single time, I hear that you're still going at it. My father, who's no longer with us, who was a huge boxing fan, this goes back to when you hit the scene. He was so happy to see, someone from our area, come out and just come out as a badass and do amazing fights where you're taking on everybody. You were in some hardcore wars, middle of the afternoon type stuff. We put on TV like, there she is again, going crazy on
there. Yeah, my mother taught me never back down. So
absolutely, and you came in at the right time, and you're an ambassador for everything. I mean, among one of the greatest female fighters. There's no doubt about it. Oh, you're more than welcome, and our listeners appreciate having you on.
And I'm sorry I was late.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Where can my followers hear?
You can follow me. My biggest that I most update my Instagram at Heather the Heat. I'm on Twitter at Heather Hardy Box, but not very often. And I'm trying to do this TikTok shit, but I just don't think that I'm cut out for it. So don't even follow me on there because it's just my Instagram repost. So.
No, it's like not only that, it's like passwords and then like logins and all this type of stuff is popping off. I walk in a place, I hear sounds, bloop, 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 bloop,
yeah,
on and off. I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
I know. So
I can't do it. Too much technology.
For real.
We thank you so much for having coming on today. Our listeners will be very happy. Good luck, and you're going to definitely come back, hopefully, right?
For sure.
We'll do it again afterwards and talk about what's next because we always like to look at what's in front of us.
That's right. That's right. So
but always have goals ahead, right? Always have goals ahead. Appreciate it.